My name's Neale Bennett. I'm the engineering manager of NSG Environmental Limited based in Chorley in Lancashire. We are involved in nuclear decommissioning sites across the UK, primarily legacy management. In terms of machinery safety, we are systems integrators of equipment, so we procure equipment, we integrate it together. In terms of support from Amtree Veritas, we're looking for the integration support for that equipment where there are gaps in the design risk assessments between the various suppliers of the equipment as the equipment comes together as a modular plant. Historically, in the nuclear world, there has been a sort of view of a get out of jail in regard to machinery, in as much as the companies involved used to sit behind the sort of laboratory equipment type approach, and therefore compliance with CE marking did not necessarily apply. Nowadays there's quite a new thrust and a modern view that CE marking does apply across the machinery that we produce, and therefore there is a big drive by all site licensees to ensure that equipment is safe and CE marked prior to first use. In terms of CE marking, it's quite often complex to decide exactly what the process needs to be to ensure that the equipment is legislatively compliant. So my view of the world is that we utilise the experts on machinery safety, because the legislation is always changing. As an engineer, you're never sure whether you're up to date with the latest thinking and processes, and therefore we always seek guidance from Amtree Veritas on the integration of the equipment, where we bring in several pieces of equipment together with various design risk assessments, certificates of conformity, declarations and the like. And I'm really keen that we ensure that we are compliant to the letter of the law, rather than a very subjective view of a non-professional in this particular area. There is a move to introduce robotics. However, because we're dealing with legacy problems, we want to try to keep it cost effective. So the equipment needs to be fit for purpose. That's the big driver. Obviously, every pound we spend is taxpayers' money. So we want to be frugal where we can be. NSG, typically, we don't shy away from robotics, but if it's not fit for purpose, or there's an easier way of doing it which makes it more cost effective, that is the route we will tend to go down. My first involvement with Amtree was probably about 20 years ago, when I was working in aerospace at the time, and we were developing jointly with another tooling company a wing drilling machine for the A400M, which was a successful project for Filton. When I subsequently left the aerospace industry and moved into nuclear, I recognised that we got similar compliance challenges in the nuclear decommissioning legacy environment, and our relationship then continued, and we've moved forward from that point, where we regularly use Amtree at NSG for advice and guidance on specific legislative challenges.